I've been collecting watches for 12 months now. My very first piece was a Seiko 5 in December of 2023, and I'm really excited to share how my collection has progressed since that very first purchase 12 months ago. I do also want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone who's watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and in case you haven't been told recently, I do want to remind you that you are loved very greatly, that there is a plan for you, and there is hope for all of us in the resurrection. With that said, let's get right into the collection.
Okay, so what you're seeing here in the brown leather box is sort of my core collection. These are the watches that I will actually go through in my rotation. So every morning when I wake up, depending on what I'm wearing, I'll choose out a piece from one of these 8. I'll start very briefly with this other box though. I've had this box since before I even started really collecting watches. So talking about these watches briefly, this is actually over a decade old at this point. My college roommate gave this to me as a birthday gift when I turned 18. It was freshman year of college. You can see it's an Emporio Armani, definitely a fashion watch. But I love this and wore it to death at the time. It's a quartz movement, and I've not gotten around to replacing the battery in several years, but it is a nice enough looking watch, and I do like the design on that crown there. Here we have a G-Shock. I think this one might be the model reference number GA100 or the 110. Really large, I think it's like 50 millimeters in diameter. Also a birthday gift relatively recently from my parents. I really enjoy the Anti-Digi functionality of this watch. I tend to wear this, if it happens to be matching what I'm wearing for the day, and if I'm going for more of a sort of rugged, like really rugged, brutalist almost kind of look, that's when I'll happen to wear this one. And of course, an F91W. Based on my 12 months of education on watch collecting, apparently you are not a full-fledged watch collector if you don't have one of these guys in your collection. Really cute, really nice. I do actually take this out once in a while. On the far right-hand side here, we won't talk about this too much. It looks like an Omega Constellation, and I thought that it was. I'll actually take it out real quick. A gift from my uncle when I was moving from New York to Virginia, where I live now. But I did find out relatively recently that this guy is actually a fake, which is very unfortunate. The mother of pearl dial did look pretty good. I went in to get it serviced and cleaned up, which is when I found out that it's not even worth the money. All right, moving on to our main collection here. Let's talk about the box first. So this box is from a brand called Tawbury. You can see it's nicely embossed into the leather box here. No regret in purchasing this watch box. It cost about $200, maybe $250. I think they're based out of Australia, if I'm recalling correctly. And it's just been perfect for housing all of my core timepieces, as well as a couple of accessories that we'll get to towards the end. Now, this is not necessarily going to be in any particular order. It just so happens to be the case that my very first sort of real watch purchase is in the upper left, and my most recent watch purchase happens to be at the lower right, but that does not follow through all the way from top to bottom, left to right. So we'll just go in that order though, and I'll talk about each one of these. Here is my SRPE 55. I believe is the model number. This is the Dress KX that I just had featured in my previous video as a comparison against the khaki field Murph. And I think I briefly mentioned in that video that I would be getting a new bracelet for the watch, which has come in as of a few days ago. And man, do I love this bracelet. It's really caused me to wear this piece a lot more recently. Solid end links. See-through case back, as I mentioned in my last video. There's a milled clasp here. This bracelet is actually from a strap code, and not gonna lie, because I don't have the proper tools to deal with this screw down set of links, it was a bit of a pain point for me. But I stubbornly went at it for 45 minutes and finally got it on. Love this piece. It's just so legible, so easy. And it kind of looks like a Tudor Black Bay 36 now because of the new bracelet, which I don't mind. Definitely dig that. I love Seiko, as I mentioned in my last video. The brand means a lot to me and to my family, which is why you'll notice a myriad of other Seikos here. I guess I'm what they call a Seikoholic. Here we have the modern reissue of a speed timer, SSC 813. This was, so this is a solar quartz watch, as many of you will know. And this is the first watch that I got that has a milled clasp, and it was really noteworthy to me at the time. Got this earlier this year, probably around, I want to say March or April, around then. We got the pushers here. That chronograph, seconds hand, almost makes it look like an automatic watch. And the subdials themselves are our effective solar panels, which is just really cool. Love this watch. It's a great size too, in 39, maybe 39.5 millimeters. Looks really good on smaller to mid-sized wrists like mine. So I find myself wearing that fairly often, both for casual wear and for slightly more dressed up semi-formal wear. All right, now this was actually my second watch purchase after that Dress KX. It's a baby turtle. Now I got it on a NATO strap here. Thankfully it's coming off easily. NATO strap is actually from the Anachronist brand. This is their Zero Pass NATO strap. As you can see, no layer of NATO between my wrist and the case back, which I know is supposedly kind of defeats the purpose of, or the original purpose that is, of a NATO strap. But I mean, realistically, I'm not doing anything crazy with this thing, so I think it's fine for me. I do like the fact that it keeps a relatively lower profile, given that it's already quite thick. This is a 42 millimeter watch, but the lug to lug is actually not that crazy. I think it's like 44 millimeters, 45 maybe, which makes it wear, definitely with some presence on the wrist, but doesn't overwhelm my 6 3/4 inch wrist. It's definitely not the most legible watch, right, compared to the Dress KX, for example, but the minute and hour hands, they have that nice outline, so that makes it pretty easy to just easily read. This was my first dive watch, and this is actually a JDM exclusive. This ice frost dial on the baby turtle just looks amazing to me. Nice action on the rotating bezel there. And you can see the Cyclops on the right hand side. It does line up, thankfully. It does line up. I think JDM models actually, I saw this somewhere that JDMs have better QC in Seiko land. So try to go for JDM models whenever possible. This one is the SBDY 109, if I recall correctly. And just that turtle case, so endearing. I really like this watch. Is it going to fit as easily? Okay, it's not. I may as well show how this strap works then. Okay, so open it up like that. I will put my wrist in right here. Try to get these rings relatively close to the case is what I try to do when I put the watch on. Loop through that one. Meet with the clasp over there. Pull it through, holes, and boom, we're done. When it's actually on my wrist, we'll have a little bit of extra hang. I'll just tuck that in inwards, and it looks great like that. All right, my second dive watch. This is probably my favorite watch in the collection. Here is the SPB 143. That's 62 Moss reissue, circa 2020. I have it on a black Tropic rubber strap here. It's not from the original Tropic company. This is from, I believe, Strap Habit. Yes, Strap Habit is the name of the company there. You can see on the buckle. It totally works for me. It is FKM rubber. You can see easy release there. And it's so versatile, this watch. I think my favorite thing about, well, it's actually really difficult to choose one favorite thing about this watch, but the dial, you can see the sunburst dial there on this really dark gray dial, and hello, you can see me as well. And then there's the hands, the fact that it's polished 1/2 for each of the two hour and minute hands. They're each polished in 1/2. Makes it shine quite a bit. And brushed on the other half. It's just great. I love the beveling here on the sides. Just great detail here. Only thing that I wish it had that it doesn't is a signed crown. But that's what you get with Seiko. Most of their mid-tier and below watches are not going to have that signed crown. I did get my dad a Seiko Presage cocktail in blue last year, and that one actually does have a signed crown. I guess it's because it's a dress watch. I don't know, you tell me. But yeah, I'm gonna stop myself from saying more about this watch, but just know that I can't say enough. This gets wrist time every single week, almost without exception. Also, the rotating bezel, I will say it is more satisfying. It does rotate, first of all, more easily, and just has a more satisfying sound than the Mini Turtle that we were just looking at. The one downside about this rotating bezel compared to the SBDY 109 is that there is a little bit of backplay on this thing. So I do find myself having to, get to the right notch and then moving it, just adjusting it ever so slightly to make it look like it's lining up. So that's not quite it. Is that it? I think that is it, actually. So you know what I mean, just a little bit of wiggle as I go through it. You can see here, it's not clicking, but there's still some play. Don't love that, but the design is so compelling. I choose to look past it. It's just, come on, look at this thing. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Here we have a little bit of an unknown. I think most people don't know about this. I don't see a lot of YouTube videos about this. This is the SUR 555. That's what it is. It's from Seiko's Essentials collection. You can see there's not too much going on in the dial, but if you look a little bit more closely, yeah, there's that kind of teak effect going on, those horizontal lines that give you a little bit more visual interest. And I will say, so Brave Beaters did a really nice video about this watch. And it's only when I watched that video that I realized he's right. The finishing on the hour markers and even that framing of the date window, like there is an astonishing level of detail on a watch of this price point. It's really interesting. Certain lights, the dial is really blue, which I do like. The main reason I wanted to get this watch is actually because I wanted to get myself an integrated sports style bracelet. And the Tissot PRX, sure, it's a very nice watch. I've seen it in person as well. It was everywhere. It was everywhere, and I wasn't ready to leave Seiko at the time. So we've just gone through 5 Seikos. Yeah, 5 Seikos. Those are all the Seikos in my main 8-watch collection here. Quartz movement, as you can tell. I got this as a great deal too. I think it was like $130 that I got this for. Really good deal. All right, let's move through these fairly quickly. The Casio Royale World Timer. Yeah. Slightly embarrassing. I don't know why. I shouldn't be embarrassed, but for some reason I do feel slightly embarrassed about the fact that for some reason, coinciding with my interest in watches over the past year, it has sort of rekindled or piqued my interest in looking at or watching James Bond videos and James Bond movies. So yeah, it does kind of make me feel like a spy. I will admit that. I love the fact that it's got the world time function, obviously. I've got Seoul, which is where my parents are from. Well, from South Korea. Got Seoul here. London, where I spent a semester studying, UTC time just because, and back to EST. I really enjoy just watching that map as we cycle through the different time zones. It's very fun. Makes me feel like a little kid again when I wear this one. Next time I go traveling, I will probably bring that with me. Okay, and lighting up here is a G-Shock Square. Gotta have it. GMW 5610, I believe, is a reference number here. You can see I've got it in the negative display, which, yes, there are some legibility issues with this guy once in a while. But it's not a big deal to me. I'm still fairly young. My eyesight is pretty good. I can just adjust the angle and see the time fairly easily. And it was a trade-off I was willing to make for this more stealthy blacked out look. I typically wear this working out. I just wore it earlier today. It's a tried and true watch. Probably never leaving the collection. And then our latest edition, my first Swiss watch, the Hamilton Khaki Murph. I've spoken at length about this watch, so I will spare you this time. If this is your first time visiting my channel, watching a video that I've published, then by all means, check out the previous 3 videos that I published, all of which were about this Murph here. But yeah, I mean, it's it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Enough said. All right, now quickly talking about the accessories that I've got in this little compartment here. Let's move this back. Yeah, so half the compartment is actually watch related, the other half is not. I've got a couple shades here. I got a bunch of straps here. This strap, this Milanese style bracelet, has really only been on the SPB 143. It looks really good with it. I had it on the Milanese for probably almost a month, and I only recently went back to the Black Tropic. I'll probably be busting that out again within the next couple of months, maybe when the weather gets a little bit warmer. Here we have the very first strap that I purchased. It's like this kind of cloth canvas, like sailcloth type material. It's not very good. It's not a very good strap. I had it on the Ice Frost Mini Turtle for a hot second. This was very early on, right? This was like maybe 3 months into collecting. Just wanted to try out the world of straps. I won't get rid of it, but it doesn't really get any wrist time, that particular strap. Here's another Tropic style rubber strap. You can see that it's in like this cool gray. Guess which watch it pairs with. Yes, that Ice Frost Mini Turtle. This actually makes the dial pop quite well, so I do like that about it. And then here we have the OEM bracelet for the SPB 143. It's probably the best bracelet, OEM bracelet at least, that I've ever purchased on any of my watches. So I keep it in here because once in a while, sure, I'll go back to it. Those are all the straps that I have in the box. I do have a couple of other straps, like the black leather strap that wasn't the Dress KX, which I talked about in my previous video. Never mind, it's right here. Okay, so here's that black leather strap. I might have 1 or 2 more straps laying around in the boxes in which these watches came. Right, like the bracelet, the original bracelet for the Dress KX, the original bracelet for the Mini Turtle. I think that's it. Yes, so that should be everything. So in terms of like third-party straps that I purchased, these are actually everything. A couple of spring bar tools here, a little microfiber type cloth for cleaning, and that's about it. That's all she wrote. Here it is. My core 8-watch collection. Ouch. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy 2024. Here's 2025. Thanks. Subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, all this stuff, guys. All this stuff. Where is this collection going? I have a couple of ideas, but no promises, no guarantees. Heck, even tomorrow's not guaranteed. So we'll take it day by day. But I will say for right now, I'm very happy. Very happy. Merry Christmas.